Alright guys, ZBC back in, and we're racing here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I qualified first at Kansas in the last race. If you guys are new, please consider subscribing. I'm going to be doing a lot of this type of content where basically we're going to do NASCAR Heat 5 racing, and we're going to kind of just like narrate what goes through my head as I'm trying to navigate my way either to the front or hold the lead and try not to finish any worse than first. So I like to win, just like any other race car driver does. I've done a lot of it in real life, and I'm trying to actually continue my career in real life by building up a YouTube account, by building up followers, subscribers, hopefully getting some sponsors at some point, and maybe getting some of you guys to subscribe on Patreon after you guys build up a little bit of trust with me. I also do a ZBC podcast, so if you guys haven't, check out my channel, and you'll see the ZBC podcast out. As of the filming of this right now, I only have one episode of the ZBC podcast filmed. What is a ZBC podcast? Do we do video games? No. I love to watch like real NASCAR, analyze it as a driver myself. So we analyze the real NASCAR Truck Series. We analyze the Xfinity Series. We analyze the Cup Series. We do weekly power rankings. So we'll rank the top 10 Cup Series drivers. Right now, number 1 is Tyler Reddick, right? So he's on a hot streak into the Olympic break. And basically, yeah, we just talk all things NASCAR. We got a couple different types of content that I'm going to do. Basically 4 main types of content. But I'll let you guys get familiarized with the channel. And we'll just try right now to win this race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Green flag is in the air. And we're going to try to take this win. Right, guys, so we cut it real short here. And look how much of a lead we can build just off of maximizing the amount of space that we use on the track. So we cut it up just a bit, and we're going to look at my hands, just steady right on that white line. And I've built already like a 0.3 of a second lead on the entire field just by actually minding what I do on the starts. A lot of people, they don't realize like what you can actually do on a start, but you really have to at all times in these public lobbies. You have to do everything at all times to build that. So building these leads, guys, can be like the best drivers, they look bored when they race, right? So I was working at a race team last year, and one of the guys that we fielded in the race team in a late model was Josh Berry. And this race was called the Snowball Derby, right? So if you guys are any fans of a late model, the guy that I was, the team that I was working on fielded Josh Berry in the most prestigious late model race in the country, right? And it's in Pensacola, Florida, Five Flags Speedway. So, in the data that we have as the team, obviously, if you guys know a little bit about my story, I was working at that team to like work my way up. And I said to the guy, the crew chief of that team, I said, hey, dude, do you have like any videos of Josh Berry potentially like in his qualifying laps? Because he won qualifying, by like a 1/10 of a second or something. That must be a hell of a lap. And he said, all right, I'm gonna show it to you, but warning, he didn't do anything special. It's boring, and that's just the way to get around the track. So if you ever heard the term nice and smooth, that's basically how you have to run it, guys. Nice and smooth, and that's going to be your best bet. So look at my hands here. I'm pretty much driving nice and smooth, and I've built a sizable gap over people that might not know how to do this. You think racing is this badass sport, and you just have to drive the car as hard as possible and just be on the devil's edge. Yeah, you got to be on the devil's edge as we're in quite of a situation here.
Clear high, bud.
You got to be on the devil's edge, but if you can be on that devil's edge while being nice and smooth, that's going to be like way better than someone who's either just nice and smooth or someone who's either just on that devil's edge, right? So watch as we only have 5 laps. Like, it's not a lot of time to catch a rhythm, but the faster you can catch a rhythm, the better you're going to be. So we're here at Las Vegas, almost halfway through the race already, and we have to really just build on that rhythm. So coming into turns 3, we're going to drive it in deep, let off that gas late, and try to just really run that bottom white line like as best as possible, and then come up near the wall. So now we're going to cut it nice and short into this apron and really rip that little black groove that you see into turns 1 and 2, and we're going to really try to get a nice stable run now towards the outside of the track. We're going to let it drift up because we're going to allow ourselves to carry some speed. But now, just as easily as I found that rhythm, watch how easy it is to take me out of that rhythm when I see an idiot like this. We don't know what he's going to do. So I hit the gas. You can hear the engine is woed down. And now I'm like, damn, that kind of really mentally affects me, which is something I have to work on. So you can see right now my lips are pursed. I'm now a little bit pissed off because I was building such a huge lead on the field. And now look, I'm a whole lane up on turns 1 and 2, and where the hell am I right now? I should not be anywhere near that. And that's just a terrible turn. I'm scratching my face. I've lost my focus, guys. And in that time, when you are doing this, you can't really tell that you lose your focus. And it's just, sometimes you really have to work on your mental acuity, because I could have really had better focus here. And now, right on that apron, I'm trying to regain my focus. And so I'm going to try and do that. But as you can see, we got an idiot trying to ruin our race. Luckily, we've built up a gigantic lead over the entire field just off of our rhythm, right? So just, 3.5 laps to go here. Trying to build up that rhythm. I'm going to act like nothing happened, but it's really hard to, because, the car's not even up to speed at this point. I rip it down, and you can see my line is just not smooth. My hands are moving a little bit much. And I think I've kind of mentally checked out, but I'm struggling because I have such a lead, but I don't want to be mentally checked out. I want to bring you guys the best laps possible, so it's really trying to just gain that focus. So now you can see me trying to focus a little bit, but here's the difference between being focused and not, right? So we get a good corner here, and, a little bit of a weird exit sets us up for a weird entry into 3, right? So we're going to try and really replicate that nice turn, but you can see the car did not bite there. Going into 3 and 4, end up hitting the wall, and you can see I'm just pissed off at this point. So a good race kind of turned bad. Luckily, we still somehow have the lead, and we're going to try to sail it into turns 1 and 2 and try to get somewhat of a rhythm back going. We got 2 laps to do that, guys. It's not a lot of time, so we really just have to, figure out a way to do that. I guess not essential for the win, but it pisses me off when I can't get into a rhythm. So trying to just kick it into turns 3 and 4. Finally, somewhat of a rhythm, but we get tight coming out of 3 and 4 and hit the wall just barely again. And you can see I'm absolutely disgusted with my driving and disgusted with everything that I've done in this second half of the race. Guys, the lesson here is it may be boring to drive smooth and smart, but it honestly is the best way, and you have to start that way when you're learning. You can't just jump into this thing and drive hard. As you can see, I'm really trying to make up for almost getting wrecked and driving super hard, and it just won't work. So now we're coming to the checkered flag. We got some idiot probably waiting to wreck us, and as you can see, he's shifting his lanes. He definitely was in it to wreck us, but I guess you could say a pretty good win here at Las Vegas.
You earned that checkered.
All right. Well, pretty easy dub here. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for getting educated. I like to race on these type of tracks. I think they're really, really good for just making sure you know how to maximize your rolling speed. And it's good, look, it's really, really good practice, even in comparison to road courses, because you get to practice your apexing and you get to practice how to get the best out of your car given a certain circumstance. So appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you guys learned something, and I hope you guys subscribe, because we're only going to get better at educating you and entertaining you. Not all the races are going to go like this, where it's just like, a big win by a mile. A lot of these races are going to be very competitive, and it might not be just yet, because right now the time I chose to film is right before I go abroad to Europe. So I kind of had to start filming nighttime on a Wednesday. So not exactly the most talented crowd like the weekend crowd, but nonetheless, still a good chance to showcase my skills. I believe I can win versus any crowd, to be honest. I feel like I'm one of the best in the world at this game. I feel like I'm a very good racer, and I know that I'll just continue to work hard on this channel, and I'll grow it into an eventual full-time seat in real life, and that's what I'm aiming for. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Like and subscribe for more. Ciao for now.